You brought up Razer just now, so I think yesterday I saw you guys put up a post about your partnership with Razer, right?
Yeah, so that's been in the works for a while. So we actually initiated the partnership around mid of last year, and we've just been scaling up over the past few months, and it's been a great experience working with them. They are looking at expanding a lot, and hopefully we'll have a lot of Razer presence in India. We have our fingers crossed, and we're waiting for them to grow more in this part of the world. But in the rest of the world, Razer obviously is dominant in a lot of not only esport but even gaming, traditional gaming and casual gamers. Razer is pretty popular amongst them.
So I had a question more from the management side. So right now I'm a sports management student, and
Okay.
being in India where we learn a lot about how other than cricket, it's a huge challenge for all sports to get sponsorship and
Right.
all that attention towards the sports. So esports is in an even tougher situation, if I'm correct, right?
Right.
So can you talk
Mhm.
to me about the challenges you face when you actually
We spend majority of our time convincing people about what esports is, and trying to explain to them. So I'll tell you, this is a situation that we face even with investors, where a normal startup gets about 20 minutes to pitch their startup. We get 5. The reason being, we have to spend 15 minutes explaining what esports is, and then 5 minutes talking about global esports,
yeah.
which every other startup doesn't really have that issue, right? Because they just talk about their startup, their company, their idea, their execution, their problems, their solutions. We have to spend 15 minutes educating the market about what esports is, because most of the people, especially the ones that are handling the marketing budgets for non-endemic brands, don't even know about esports. Like, they've never heard of it. They just know that gaming is a thing, but that's about it. They don't know
Yeah.
anything else about it. So a lot of our time and effort has gone into educating the market that, what people call first mover advantage. This is something we see as a first mover disadvantage, is we're really having to educate the market, because now anyone that comes after us, example, we've spoken to XYZ brands. Anyone that comes in after us and talks to them, they don't need to spend the same 15 minutes pitching and explaining what esports is, right? They just go in and straight talk about their company and what they do and why they do it better.
Yeah.
But for us, it's just the growing curve, and that's what happens when you are at the growth and really rising with the wave of esports, and really being there at the forefront of making sure that we go from point A to point B in the scale of things. That's what happens. It is the first mover's disadvantage. A lot of people only talk about the advantages. There are a fair bunch of disadvantages as well.
Yeah. Another thing that differs you guys from traditional sports is the way in which you guys can engage with your fans and create new fans. In a traditional sport, you'll have your stadiums where you can engage with them properly through events and stuff like that. So since it's very different for you, how do you guys do that?
Honestly, I think the number one way for engagement right now is social media. Like, we have a lot of our athletes that do regular live sessions, whether it's on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and a lot of them are creating content, making sure that they have the right amount of content on YouTube or Instagram to ensure that people not only have a sneak peek into their lives, but also get a chance to experience what it's like to be an esports athlete or a content creator, and probably help them along the way to follow their journey, and probably give them that kickstart that they need to go towards building what they require towards their future.
Yeah. Can you talk to me a little about the ecosystem in India for esports? Because most of us are not that aware of even the teams that are there. I am personally aware of only 3 teams: Mamba, Patek, and Global Esports.
Right. So there are a bunch of teams, but obviously it's not at the stage at which we would want it. It's still really growing, and that's perfectly fine, right? Because India is a new and emerging market. We really have the advantage of numbers at our hands, definitely, and we are a mobile first market. So we are seeing the shift very quickly and very rapidly towards mobile esports. And when it comes to other countries, a lot of them are still primarily sticking with console and PC game, esports organizations. Mobile is just a novelty for them. While in India now, if you see, there are more mobile esports organizations than PC and console combined.
Okay.
So the scale at which mobile esports is growing in India is great. And in fact, India is becoming the epicenter for mobile esports across the globe. Where already in terms of PUBG Mobile, there's no country that even comes close to the numbers that India is providing. India has become such an important market. So we are blessed with this unique opportunity where for the first time in an industry, especially as cutting edge as esports, we have the opportunity to be the forerunners and not the followers. Because in every other industry, everything first happens in the West or in South Korea, and then a few years later it comes to India. But for the first time in the, in the world, probably the first time in the world. I'm not sure of any other industry or sector that this may have happened in, but in esports, we have this golden opportunity where India can lead the pack and not follow.
Yeah.
So we're really, really fortunate that we've, esports as a sector has been around in India, like I said, really, really far back. Sorry, I'm going to have to get that, perks of working from home.
We will basically talk about the ecosystem in India and how it looks very prosperous.
Really fortunate that we have the opportunity to kind of lead the pack instead of follow. Content creators, the followers and the viewership and the subscriber base that comes from India far supersedes a lot of the other countries. So
yeah. So
what a lot of people see as an immature market, I see as, forerunners in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's a very optimistic future for us then, the way you speak about.
Yes, it is.